Hey there. Didn't see you. My name's Joshua, also known as Joshua if you like to call me Joshua. And today, I feel like doing a rant video today, if that's alright with you. Um, I wanted to make this video about my future. Um, it's not like one of those videos going to be scheduled from 10 years in the future by now, because honestly, it's better to know what your past was thinking about right now than worrying about it 10 years later, if you know what I mean. I'm looking at you, Mr. Beast. Well, anyway, I was curious about how life is going to be in the next, 5 years or so, especially with how things are going in the world. But we're not here to talk about the world. We're here to talk about if life is really that scary or life is truly as fun as it should be. Well, first of all, I personally believe that everyone has an opportunity to live a good life. It just matters how they choose to start their life. Because sure, we all have memories in our lives where like, hey, I maybe feel like that I will not succeed in life. A lot of people have those feelings. A lot of people feel stressed, feel like they won't amount to anything. And well, that's a human emotion. And it's a human thing that we've all have dealt with. Even our ancestors have dealt with that anxiety, even though they didn't know what anxiety is at that time, or PTSD, or everything like that. But future is a very, very broad thing. Everyone's like, oh, I want to go to college, I want to get paid, I want to live a sustainable income, which can all be achieved. It can. It just matters how you start off your adult life. I maybe not know that personally, but I have learned from many other people that that's how life is. It's not about rolling with the punches then, it's about rolling with the punches when it matters. And truly, I want to live a life that is fulfilling, but a life that can be enjoyable and look back after we die and go to heaven. As you may not know, I am a Christian. I personally believe in there is a God, there is something out there, because I mean, how lucky are we to be a sentient being, but somehow willing to do a lot of amazing things with one another, no matter if it's evil, good, bad, or the downright ugly. We've all have lives, and we all have that one that feels like that it's very special, very, very hard to maintain. It's hard to keep yourself sane at times, which is hard to do. But one of the things we should learn how to do is learn how to take care of one another, even when life gets tough for us. Look, I may not show a lot of pain. I may not show a lot of, anguish in my voice or anything like that, but we've all had those days where, oh my god, this feels too real. This feels like this is going to be like every single other day. But let me tell you, it's not going to be like that every single day. Life has more than just one meaning. Life has multiple meanings. It just matters what you look for in your life. It matters what type of memory you want to make for yourself. Because truly, life is about the good moments, no matter how bad you look at the bad ones. And, well, I want to talk about my personal life, if that's okay with you guys. Well, personally, I am trying to go into community college at this point. It's like, why not go to Big Four and get it done with already? First of all, let me tell you one thing. Community college just makes college tuition so much cheaper. I'm not lying. I put in my FAFSA, the United States, federal aid for graduates that are going to go to higher education. My FAFSA pays for my entire tuition. And I felt very, very blessed and very thankful that I decided to go in a couple months earlier than most people would. Because, let's be honest here, some people should be focusing on that. Sure, it's oh, that's just a little bit of money. It's not going to matter anyway. It's going to matter a lot when you get older. Not a lot of people are going to be like, hey, I'm willing to give you $7,000 make sure you spend it wisely. It's really hard to do that when, one, you're mostly a child for most of your life, so you're like, oh, I'm just going to spend all that money. I ain't going to put into my tuition. I could just pay it off when I go to have a job. Sure, you can always have a job, but one thing you should always remember is that you ain't always going to have a job. You ain't always going to have that time to try to get a job, because let's be honest here, the job market in America is very, very painful at the moment. It's very hard to get a job when you're very young, because they're like, hey, we want experience for your job. It's like, yeah, you want experience for the job, but you won't give me that experience. They're like, okay, I don't know what to tell you then. It's like, you gotta be kidding me, right? It makes no sense sometimes, you know? But one thing you should always think about is that you've always had the experience, you just need to show it. I went into high school with subpar expectations. They're like, well, these are the biggest 4 years of your life. I think college might be the biggest 4 years, but it could be six, so I don't really know. But high school is truly very important in a child's, for a person that's slowly developing into a young adult. You're looking at a person that at the beginning didn't really want to have a good education. I'm not gonna lie. I was originally just using AI. I'm not joking. I just used AI for most of my freshman year because it was on the down low still. So we're like, yeah, I'm just gonna use AI. But I'd rather be honest, because God is always watching. I've used AI most of my freshman year, or almost all of my freshman year. And guess what? I still failed science, because guess what? It was one of those online classes. They're like, okay, you have to look everything up. Because guess what? They ain't going to teach you that for some reason. Like, I'm one of those people that I want to be taught, like in front of you. Like, I want to be taught, like, physically. I don't want to be taught as, like, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. I was like, yeah, I know that, but I want you to show me that. And then they turn around and was like, well, I'm not really a teacher. Let me tell you this one story, actually. I had a substitute teacher that apparently had a major in English, but taught a science class. Now tell me, is English any time related to, like, science? I mean, except writing it down and like, okay, uh, this chemical mixes with that chemical, and that chemical won't mix with that chemical. Sure, sure. You can say, yeah, English works at some points. I was like, but she's teaching a science class. And guess what? I was like, why are we doing Ingenuity? That is the software I was using, or I was forced to use. And they're like, wait a minute. Why are you not teaching this class? She's like, oh, I'm not certified. Then how did you get a substitute teacher, like, position? She's like, well, I don't know. I'm just waiting until my English degree comes in. And they're like, I'm like, what? So you were taught English to tell to other kids, but you're teaching a science class? It's like, oh, no, I'm not teaching. I'm just substituting. I'm like, sure, but that makes no sense. Like, literally makes no sense whatsoever. And because that teacher left halfway through the year, let's just say that I failed by a few percentages. Like, I believe I had like a 62. Yeah, I have the paper here. Hold up. Okay, let me look around for it real quick. Okay, okay, I'm opening it up right now, and it says that I got a 64, a 64 in science. And, well, I failed science and had to retake it next year with the same frickin' program. I was taught on Ingenuity again and barely passed that too. But all my other classes are like high A, low A. Like I barely passed science. And then when I was taught by an actual teacher that was actually able to give me the information, I excelled at science. I just felt like that it made no sense, you know? It just felt like that you were told that you were going to teach English classes to English students, but instead you're teaching science even though you're majoring in English. It makes no sense. So what I'm getting at is that I know a lot of people like online classes, so put down in the comments, how does online classes actually teach you better than physical classes? But now, community college is coming up, and generally, I am very excited. This is the first big page of independence, even though this country is about to turn 250 years old about the time I probably post this video. And I really want my independence. I mean, I love my mom, I love my dad, I love my family. It's just that, like, independence and freedom are, like, the biggest, like, selling points to every young adult. They're like, yeah, I want to live in my own apartment. And they're like, okay, you have to pay rent, though. I'm like, yeah, I'd rather pay rent than live under your roof. It's like, okay, it's time to go to bed, 9 o'clock. I'm like, what? No, whoa. They're like, no, it's a school night. I'm like, a school night? I'm out of high school. It's like, well, it's going to be community college soon, so you have to go to bed early. Like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Because guess what? Community college or not, it's still going to be long, like, studying sessions. Because let's be honest here. Community college seems like, oh, it's actually way more easier than regular college. Wrong. They actually just teach you the basic materials of English, science, math, and history. But notice that I actually don't actually need to be taught history or okay, I believe it's history and I know it's another one. I did 1 year math, I did 2 years of history. So, but I know I actually have to do half of the college work, so I have way more free time, which means I might actually be able to get a reasonable sized job for a reasonably sized pay. So I'm very lucky that I might get that opportunity, but still, it's kind of nerve-wracking. Like, yeah, I thought ahead, that's a good thing. But I feel like that life is always going to rush you, but one thing you should do is learn to slow down a bit. Sometimes I talk a bit too fast, like this, but the words feel more impactful when they're slower, when they feel like there's more ground to it, if you know what I mean. That's how public speaking works, apparently, but I don't know how to do public speaking because, well, I'm not going to show my face in a video for a pretty long time. I don't think so, anyway. It's just because that, well, I'm not going to do VTubing. It's like, oh, chat, Twitch, could you temporarily ban this man from speaking in my chat? I don't feel comfortable about showing my face. I'm comfortable by showing my face. It's just that I want to show my face when it's time to. Because let's be honest here, you could probably hear the neck rolls when I talk. I am a bit overweight. I'm not going to say that I'm not, so I just wish that in GCA Online you can make your character fat as shit. But in Roblox you can, but I ain't gonna play Roblox because let's be honest here, there's a lot of pedophiles on there. But allegedly. I'm just gonna say allegedly because they could probably take me to court, so I'm gonna say allegedly. Anyway. So, yes, I'm very excited for this next chapter of life. And I can't wait what life is going to become for me and all my friends and see how life treats them when they get older. I just hope life treats them like they did as children, even though it's not going to be like that anymore. But, life is supposed to be a time when you feel alive. I mean that figuratively and literally. Like, you're alive, you should be having fun. When you have so much limited time on this planet. Yes, I'm getting sentimental now, and but one thing is that life is always going to catch you by surprise, no matter how life is going to treat you. But one thing you should always do is that um, look at your reflection. Even though there's no reflection in this pool, just sometimes you gotta look at your reflection as like, is this what I'm gonna do with my life? Or is there something I can do with my life? Or something more impactful for my life? So it feels like I lived a good life. But living a good life doesn't mean that you have to get rich, get successful, get a hot babe, get some good looking children. Children that text you once or twice a month. Soon you'll be 70 years old, and then the world could get cold. But you hope you get a lot of children that can bear me, you know? But life is about enjoying the simple times when you have them, because it's not always going to be simple. Sometimes, or most of the time, it's complicated. Just like a human, it's complicated. Or like sexual orientation. Oh, by the way, happy late Pride Month. I'm joking. Anyway, all I'm saying is that enjoy the small times. Enjoy the times where you have your family that actually feels like it's a wonderful life. Because you never know how long you're going to have it for. But life is about enjoying the good times when you have them. So enjoy the most that you can. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you like these types of rants, because I might do these more often if there's enough traction for these. So if you do like these, please like and subscribe. And thank you personally. Thank all of you. I'm going to go around the whole world for you to say thank you very much for watching this video. And I hope we meet again. God bless.